What's up guys, it's Abel Andres here of Vigatech, and today we're putting the Samsung Galaxy J7 Prime and the OPPO F1S against each other to see which one makes for a better selfie smartphone. Ready? Let's go! Two of the most promising mid-range selfie smartphones are in the market today, and both of them are getting a lot of attention. The OPPO F1S has been around for a couple of months now and have sold over 20,000 units since its local release. The new challenger is the recently launched Samsung Galaxy J7 Prime, which has some very comparable specs as well. The Galaxy J7 Prime retails for 13,990 pesos, while the OPPO F1S is slightly cheaper by 1,000 at 12,990, so this is pretty much a good match. Let's start with the design. The OPPO F1S is a very simple yet elegant design, and this cuts across the entire F series of OPPO. In the same manner, the J7 Prime from Samsung has a similar look. Full edge-to-edge glass up front, smooth rounded corners, and a flat metal back panel with matte finish. Both also have fingerprint scanners, which is very good. The F1S is slightly lighter at 160 grams and also much thinner at 7.38mm compared to the J7 Prime. The two handsets look very much alike, and there's but a few subtle differences, especially with the placement of the ports and the physical buttons, but overall, we think it's a tie between the two in terms of design. Then we look at the display. The OPPO F1S comes in a 5.5-inch IPS LCD with 720p HD resolution, and this is protected by Gorilla Glass 4. At the same time, the J7 Prime also has a 5.5-inch IPS LCD display with a full HD 1080p resolution, protected by Gorilla Glass 4. The F1S has a brighter screen, but the J7 Prime has higher pixel density and deeper contrast, as you can see in the video playback here. The J7 Prime also has a higher screen-to-body ratio at 73.3% compared to the 71% of the OPPO F1S. This allows the J7 Prime to have a smaller footprint or more compact body for the same display size. In terms of hardware and performance, the OPPO F1S runs on a 1.8 GHz octa-core processor from MediaTek with 3GB of RAM. The J7 Prime is also powered by a 1.6 octa-core Exynos processor paired with 3GB of RAM as well. In our benchmark test, the J7 Prime scored over 46,000 in our Antutu benchmark, while the F1S got just a little over 41,000. The difference is just about 10%, but that's enough to put the J7 Prime ahead of the F1S. Do note, however, that the J7 Prime only has a Mali 830 MP2 GPU, compared to the newer Mali 860 MP2 of the F1S. The Mali 860 is a flagship GPU, while the Mali 830 is a mid-ranger. So expect the F1S to perform better in graphics-intensive games like NBA 2K17. Both devices feel snappy and responsive, and we did not notice any lags even with multiple apps running on the background. Of course, there's also the OS. The J7 Prime runs on Android 6.0 Marshmallow, while the OPPO F1S only has Android Lollipop 5.1. Although the F1S gets a customized and leaner UI called ColorOS 3.0, the Marshmallow optimizations puts the J7 Prime ahead. In terms of camera, both phones come with a 13-megapixel rear camera, although the F1S only has an f2.2 aperture compared to the larger f1.9 of the J7 Prime. This gives the latter an edge, especially in low-light conditions. Going up front though, the F1S has a bigger camera module with a 16-megapixel 1/3.1-inch sensor size, an f2.0 aperture, and 1080p video recording. On the other hand, the J7 Prime has a smaller 8-megapixel front-facing camera with an f1.9 aperture and full HD video recording. You can check out the side-by-side comparisons of both the rear and front-facing cameras to see the difference. The J7 Prime has a better rear camera, but we think the OPPO F1S took the front-facing camera, especially with a wide-angle film view. In terms of audio, the speaker grills on the F1S is found at the bottom end of the device, while the J7 Prime placed it on the right side just above the power button. It's an odd placement for the J7 Prime, but testing the audio between the two showed the F1S giving louder volume overall. Now we go to battery. In our standard battery test, the OPPO F1S took 9 hours and 1 minute to consume the 3075 mAh battery. On the other hand, the Samsung J7 Prime took 9 hours and 38 minutes to deplete its 3300 mAh battery. Obviously, the 225 mAh edge on the J7 Prime over the F1S certainly gave it the advantage here. It's a tight match between the OPPO F1S and the Samsung Galaxy J7 Prime. Both devices look nice and easy on the hands. Performance and camera is at par with each other. However, the J7 Prime got points with a full HD display, the OS, and the battery life. Anyway, we hope we gave you a better look at the two mid-ranger and somehow provide a fair comparison between the two. If you have more questions about the Galaxy J7 Prime and the OPPO F1S, just leave them in the comment section down below. Hit thumbs up if you like this video or consider subscribing for more videos like this. Once again, this is Abe and see you in the next one.